This is the Moshpit Backstage podcast for punk, metal and rock interviews and segments.
Ocean Grove are an up-and-coming metal band from Melbourne with their debut album coming out this Friday, the 3rd of February. They are joining us in the studio today. How are you going?
Yeah, really well. We've had a little bit of time off at home in between tours because we've got a lot kind of going on with the album release and a bunch of stuff going on. But it's been good to have a couple of days off at home and to be playing when the album is released, also quite close to home, and to be able to celebrate with family is a massive bonus. And I think things just worked out and kind of lucky for us.
Yeah, that's great. It's great. You always need a bit of time to relax before all of the big stuff starts happening.
Yeah, totally. So it's been really good, and kind of a crazy time with UNIFY happening, and then we sort of started this tour, and then we also got feature album, and then the album's coming out, and then we've actually got a couple of things happening the week of the album, the first week that it comes out. We've also got a bunch of other stuff that we're announcing, so it's just been a very busy time.
That's great. So tell us about the new album, where the ideas came from, and is there a running theme that goes throughout the album?
Yeah, so the album, I guess, it started probably longer than a year ago. It first sort of started as these sort of small ideas recorded on Ableton by our studio member, just these first sort of snippets, 30 seconds, and it was done on a dance program, so it was very different to the album you hear now, when we were able to take that sort of bare bones sound and then make into the record that it was. There is a running theme throughout the album, and it kind of touches on hyper reality. And I think there's also going to be consistency in kind of the lyrics that we write, because we write them in a certain way, and we've kind of fallen upon a method of writing music that we know works. So we're always going to be singing about stuff like passion and enjoyment, and we're going to be quite self-referential in telling stories that we've kind of been through as people. And so the record definitely has some themes, but at the same time, every song is quite a standalone song and does its own thing. So it is a very, very different album, I guess, even in terms of lyrics and even in terms of music from what we've done. And I think the beauty about this record is that it's the first time doing a debut album, so we've had more time and more songs to explore our sound and our tastes as people.
Cool. It all sounds really great. And I was wondering, what's the meaning behind the name, the Rhapsody Tapes?
Yeah, so that name is kind of a lot like a lot of things that we do, really, in terms of even the artwork. We kind of get an idea stuck in our head quite early on, and we can't get it out of our head, and we can't change it. So that came up quite early on in the piece, the Rhapsody Tapes, and the Rhapsody kind of means to express something loudly and passionately, and that's kind of what we were doing with this record. It's our debut record, and that came with a lot of connotations in the fact that it was a defining moment for us and our sound and our musical careers. So we took a lot of risks with this record, with sound, and we took a lot of risks in terms of by doing it ourselves and telling stories, and we just wanted to basically be loud and proud and kind of be standing on the top of the world, shouting it out, delivering a message, and letting everyone know that this is what we're about, and this is the music, and kind of announcing ourselves to the world. So that's where that came in. And the tapes part was just the fact that it was kind of recorded in a way that it was very much pressing a space bar and recording and then getting music down. And that kind of just refers to the fact that it kind of came from these rough recordings, and it's one of those things that the name's actually made more sense over time, and I'm quite happy with the name of the record. I think it's different, and I think it definitely stands for what we were trying to get across with the album.
That's great. I love it. And I also love the DIY ethic that you guys take on. Like, I was wondering why you decided to do things that way instead of the traditional way.
I think that's something that we've been doing for a while. I mean, obviously to be able to do these things, you have to have a certain amount of skills, and not even that, you just have to be able to kind of be patient with things and work hard and be willing to go that extra, 10%. We've had so many late nights and all-nighters getting this record done, and I think that we've been better off for it. And I think what's important is the creative control, and, we've designed the merch for the pre-orders, we've designed the front cover, we've recorded all the music, we have, I kind of had a lot of to say with the album artwork and the booklets. I spent a while compiling all photos that we'd taken and cutting them out and putting them in and making this kind of booklet thing. And I think that just is just a handy thing to have, because we are very much a band that we definitely have a creative vision and an idea of how we see the band and see our artwork. And a lot of the time, the best way and really the only way to make sure you nail that artistic direction and look is by doing it yourselves. And as much as it made it a lot harder for us, I think that we really benefited from it, because at the end of the day we knew that we'd be getting exactly what we wanted. And also it's a good opportunity for us. Our drummer Sam recorded the record in his house, and that really made people realize him, and that kind of puts his name on the map as a producer. And for myself personally, I've never been a very hands-on kind of artistic, creative person when it comes to, a physical format, whether it's drawing or writing or whatever. So that definitely pushed me, and for that to be a part of the record and something that I definitely probably has been a weak point of mine, going through high school or whatever, that's something that I can be proud about. And I think we are very proud of this record, from the music to the artistic part of it and everything in between.
Yeah, that's really great. And on that point that it was or that it was written, recorded, produced and mixed in your drummer's bedroom, as you said, how do you feel that impacted on the album and the overall sound?
I think that we were very happy with the record, and if we weren't happy with it, we were going to go elsewhere. And from the beginning, we always thought that we were going to go overseas for at least a portion of it, go to America for the mastering or mixing. And we just got to a point in recording it that we were just happy with it. It just sounded incredible, and we were like, well, we don't need to be going over and doing these things. And we spent a month there, and it was a very hard kind of thing to do, because you have all the time in the world to be doing this. I imagine most people go to a studio with the songs basically mostly written and recorded. They get some help from the producer, and they kind of bang it out because they've got they're thinking about how much money they're paying per day or for the sessions or the producer's time, and we kind of had all the time in the world. So it was a bit maddening, because we had all this time to get this done, and I think at points we felt like if we weren't there recording, then we were kind of wasting our time or not doing the right thing. Or I just think that we got to the point where we realized that the most important thing is the kind of effort and time you're putting in, the passion you're pouring into it, and not the amount of time you're putting into it. And I think that it was really good that we've got enough people to bounce off and get sound that we fell upon, and we didn't have to go anywhere else. A lot of people go to a producer or they record somewhere because they know the producer can help them write the music, and we didn't have that with this record. But I think that we did really well in any case.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how's the tour going with the Amity Affliction and Hellions? I mean, it must be pretty great to know that most of that tour is sold out.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many things that's good about the tour, and I think that the fact that we're kind of playing places that most people don't get to see, as Australians, let alone be able to play music there. And I think that's one of the best parts, being able to go to Cairns and Townsville. And we have done this routing of the tour before, but it just never gets old being able to go that far north and being able to go to Tasmania and all these places that I hadn't been to personally, if it wasn't for music. And also playing to people that don't get gigs all the time. It's not like they're from Melbourne and they can go and see their favourite band every, year or two that they roll through, or be able to go to a gig almost every night of the week. These people are really not at all spoiled with shows, and you can tell with that they're super appreciative. And also it's just good to be touring with two great bands, really good people, and it's what's really spun me out on this tour is the fact that we've had people come up and obviously say hi, and they're saying that they're at their first gig, first gig ever, let alone seeing us.
That's
and
so cool.
That just makes me think of the fact that my first gig, I was going to watch the Amity Affliction and billboards, and I think I was 13 or something in 2008, and so when people were saying they're going to their first gig, I definitely remember that feeling of going to my first gig, and it's even crazy to be touring with one of the bands that I went and saw when I was 13.
Yeah, that's super awesome. And you recently performed at UNIFY in Gippsland in January. I was just wondering, how was this year's different to last year? Because you also performed at the one last year.
Yeah, I think we knew what we were in for. I think last year we kind of had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, and that was great because we had no expectations. This year we kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into, and the festival just continues to grow every year and get bigger and better, and that was a crazy opportunity for us to be able to do it once, let alone twice. And I think my only downside to UNIFY this year is it just felt like it went really quick on stage, and I wish that I had more time to sit there and soak up the moment and soak up how great it was. But you kind of stuck on playing as many songs as you can, and I just wish that I could have soaked it up a bit more. But it was great, and it was a good memory. And UNIFY, I think from playing the first year, we've realised it's just such a great opportunity to capture an audience that haven't seen you yet, and haven't heard you, and it's a good opportunity to show the heavy music community what you're all about and what you can do, and I think that we did that. So we were happy with how everything went. Yeah.
Do you prefer festivals or like the regular gigs more? I guess like both have their like ups and downs.
Yeah, that's it. I think festivals are good, and it's a different thing playing outdoors. With this year, you kind of worry about things. Well, if you're kind of going to be worrying about anything for a gig, you're kind of worrying whether you're going to play well, or whether you're going to be performing how you want to be performing, and whether something's going to go wrong or whatever it might be. But you never really think, what if it's going to be raining? And that's with the UNIFY this year. There was a bit of rain, and that was like, that's an interesting thing to consider because it's something that's completely out of your power. But yeah, I mean, we like playing UNIFY and playing to 7,000 people and a massive sea of people, and then we also like playing in smaller pubs to 300 people where there's no kind of barricade or distance between you and the fans, and you can kind of be more intimate. And I think we shine just as much in that situation as we do. And I guess the trick, is and really what we're about is just the fact that it doesn't really matter who you're playing to or where you're playing it. You should be enjoying it just as much, and you should be putting in just as much passion. And where you're playing or how many people shouldn't dictate how much of your energy you're pouring into it. And we kind of just go all out no matter what it is. And we've definitely had years of playing in really small venues and playing to a handful of people, and that I think all that time spent doing that has made us appreciate the times when we do come and play to 2,000 people or or more. So in terms of playing live and the experience, it is what you make of it, I think.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, no worries, and thank you for chatting with me today, and we wish you all the best for the album release and the rest of the tour.
Awesome, thank you so much. I hope you love the record when it comes out.
Thanks for listening to the Moshpit Backstage podcast. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and Omni. To find out more about the show, go to www.syn.org.au/moshpit. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/moshpitonsyn and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at moshpitsyn. The regular Moshpit radio show broadcasts punk, rock and metal tunes and interviews every Thursday nights on Syn 9.7 on FM and digital radios. Listeners outside of Melbourne, Australia can stream Syn 9.7 online at www.syn.org.au. Thanks to Vintage Ruin for the music.
Hi, this is Tommaso from Flashgun Apocalypse.
Hi, I'm Enid from Girls' School.
I am Phoebe Pinnock from Heavenly Axe.
Hey, this is Gary Oldmead of the Misfits.
Hey, this is Kat Sproul from Horizon's Edge, and you're listening to the Moshpit on Syn FM.
Hi, this is Einar from Leopard.
Hi, I'm Virginia Lilly from the band Lily.
This is Raul from 1349.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ali from Zebrahead.
Hey, everybody, this is Charlie Benante with Anthrax, and you are listening to the Moshpit on Syn.